Very good morning. Today I'm going to explain about the introduction part of the cascading style sheet. So the cascading style sheet, which is used to describe how HTML elements are to be displayed on the screen. So the main purpose of the cascading style sheet CSS is used to develop or describe how the HTML elements are to be displayed on the screen. Basically the CSS is the CSS cascading style sheet is a style language used to style and enhance the website. So the main component CSS is one of the important main component of the web page along with the HTML and JavaScript. The HTML which is used to add the structure to the web page, whereas JavaScript adds logic to the web page, but CSS make visually appealing, visual stylish. If you want to add the stylish to the structured web page, then you can go for cascading style sheet. That is the very important thing. You have to be associated with the cascading style sheet. Okay. So it was released in the year of 1994. Actually, 1996. It was released in the year of 1996 by Haukum Wien Lee. So he is the author, he is the developer, he is a Norway scientist, computing scientist. Haukum, Haukum, Haukum Wien Lee. So he is a Norway scientist. So he is the designer. How come Lee is the designer? So you can go and check his personal web page. So he is the designer of the cascading style sheet along with the Tim Berners-Lee. As you are well aware about the Tim Berners-Lee, he is the World Wide Web Consortium. Tim Berners-Lee. He founded the World Wide Web Consortium. He is the next person. Tim Berners-Lee. So both are worked at European Organization for the Nuclear Research. So he defines the World Wide Web Consortium. This is another one important thing. You have to be well known with the web pages. Okay, so this is the history. Mainly, it allows the separation of the content, the web structure, HTML, the CSS. The main use of the CSS is to allow the separation of the content from the presentation. So the main important thing, why we are separating the content from the presentation, the visual appealing. This makes the website easier and more flexible to maintain. Okay, we can maintain a separate file for the presentation along with the HTML. So if you modify the external style sheets, then there will be a great impact over the visualization of the HTML web structure. So I already stated that the CSS was created in the year of 1994. Okay, this is the personal web page of the CSS developer. I created a small language called Cascading Style Sheet. Describe how the web pages are presented. So this is basically related to the presentation, the visual appealing, which was adopted by W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, in the year of 1996 as CSS1. Later, in 1998, the versioning CSS2 will be available. So, the versioning is to be associated with improved layouts and ability to specify how the contents would appear in different platforms. So that will be take care by the versioning of the second version of CSS2. In 2011, CSS3 is versioned. So that talks about the responsive web design. So this is a very clear introduction about what is the CSS. One more important thing is So just for an example, just I would like to create one file called intro.html. So here what I'm going to do is just I would like to take only only one element, that is called as h1. So where it's structured with welcome to css or welcome to html, anything, any representation. So this is the element. Okay, so you can go and check the output of this html page by clicking the go live in VS Code. So immediately you got the structure of the web page intro.html as welcome to HTML. So if you want to make this welcome to HTML in different colors, so that's what we are going for the CSS. Okay, so CSS can be represented using the tag called style. So this is the style. Okay, so this style tag might consist of one important thing, that is called a selector. The selector is nothing but the HTML element. This is the selector, followed by the declaration block. This is the declaration block. The declaration block might consist of CSS property. Say for example, the CSS property color is the CSS property, followed by the CSS value red. Okay, which will be separated, the CSS property value will be separated by the semicolon. Again, this is the declaration. This is one declaration. Here the property and the value will be separated by the colon. That the declaration block may consist of other declaration. Okay, suppose if you have an other declaration, it could be separated by the semicolon. That's very important. So this is the declaration part, this is the selector part, this is the declaration block. This is the declaration block. Say for example, if you have another declaration, say what I'm going to talk about, the font size approximately 12 pixel. Okay, so this is the first declaration, it talks about the color. The second declaration, it talks about the font size. So this declaration might consist of the property. So this is the CSS property, and this one is CSS value. This is another CSS property, and this one is CSS value. So each and every declaration is separated with semicolon. So the particular CSS property and value will be separated by the colon. So this is the CSS. This is the CSS. Here H1 is the selector. Selector is nothing but the HTML element. Here I'm going to make this HTML to be represented in the color of red with the font size 12. So if you save this and get into the web page, so here it will be represented like this. It's in the color, red color with font size as 12. Suppose if you want to increase the color font, so let it be. So now the font will be increased to 22 rather than the 12. So this is the first part of the introduction to CSS. So let's wait for more CSS videos with a clear definition of the properties and values. Thank you very much. Keep watch.